The hunting horn. Towards the start of Monster Hunter World, everyone assumed that the hunting horn was completely a support weapon. However, it's nothing like it. Now the hunting horn has quite a few utilities to it. It is a support weapon, or it can be a support weapon technically. It is very powerful damage-wise, along with the fact that it has an extremely high impact value, which means it makes it easier to knock down monsters. The hunting horn and the hammer are the two best weapons for getting knockdowns, at least in terms of like high knockdown values without having to put on like knockdown jewels, everything like that. Because a lot of weapons need knockdown jewels and such to get that amazing, or KO jewels to get that amazing knockdown power. But enough of that. Into the hunting horn itself. So the hunting horn, every attack that you do, if you look in the top left, every attack that you do lets a little music note appear with a symbol on it. So circle, triangle, then triangle and circle is another note. And anything that you can do with the hunting horn would definitely change depending on what type of hunting horn you use. So I'm just going to get a melody real quick. Start 3 actually. And if you look in the top right, you can see your melodies while you have the hunting horn out. Okay, let me do that. You can see your melodies while you have the hunting horn out. So then when you... Now, if you don't want to show this, if you don't want this to appear all the time, you can like go into the settings and disable it. But you will have to memorize your melodies, which if you're not good at memory, you definitely just want to keep that on. But basically, once you have melodies set up, and even if you don't, you can just press R2 and it'll perform the melodies in a little song. You can press R2 again when everyone finishes to do an encore, which will let you just re-perform the melodies with a better effect. These melodies are the support version, the support part of the hunting horn, because they constantly buff the user. Yeah, they buff you and your teammates if your teammates are in the same area. New to Iceborne specifically is the ability to press L2 after any regular attack to do an echo attack. You compare echo attacks and the echo melodies. So I'm gonna get the first two. Now, the first one is max stamina up recovery, which all these echo melodies change depending on who you're using or what hunting horn you're using. But basically, echo melodies is what allows you to do special effects. So we're gonna start with the first one. I press R2 to do the melody. As you can see, it left a little spot on the ground. Any echo melody will leave a spot like that on the ground depending on the effect. And whatever that echo melody was, that will affect you in that spot. Perfect example, that orange bar right under my health, or yellow, stamina. It went up greatly because this melody effect is called max stamina up plus stamina recovery. So basically, whenever you roll through this, you get your stamina back instantly and you get more stamina. Now, there are a ton of different echo melodies, like quite a few, and they're all dependent on the hunting horn you're using. So you really want to, if you're going to use a hunting horn, make sure you find one that's good for you, basically, for like whatever melodies you like. Now, there are two types of echo waves. Impact echo wave is a echo wave that deals impact damage whenever you do the melody. Impact damage is what lets you knock down monsters. So this one is actually really useful. Then there is Echo Wave Dragon, which I can't actually show off because that's on a hunting horn that's a master rank hunting horn. So Echo Wave Dragon just loses a burst of dragon damage. But that's basically the gist of the hunting horn. You cast melodies by doing combos. When your melodies are cast and you're ready to cast them, you just do an encore, and you just buff your teammates and yourself with it. So hunting horn is a bit complex at first. But if you use it enough and get the gist of it, it becomes a lot easier to use, honestly. Hunting Horn is also a slow weapon, so if you want a weapon that deals a good bit of damage but isn't really slow, then the Hunting Horn definitely isn't for you. But hey, you never know till you try it, I guess. So I will be now giving gameplay for this, and the monster I'll be hunting is the Flying Wyvern Rathian, which has a 3-star dragon, which is what this which is what this Hunting Horn does. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna prepare some melodies real quick. That way, as soon as I go in, I can just start the melodies. Circle. There we go. I always try and do that for a lot of monsters. I just like pre-prepare melodies, which makes it a lot easier. Right, poison is the thing. I don't think we're gonna hit her, but I'll try at least. Okay. Oh, I'm not in it. I was a weird camera angle, so I couldn't actually tell. I have no idea myself if the same melody will actually stack. Okay. Alright, Randy. Oh, I forgot to encore it. I rolled too late. Or too early? I definitely rolled there, but okay again. Sweet Dragon is ready. Impact Echo Wave pulling through for the boy. Sharpness hasn't went below blue yet, which I'm actually pleasantly surprised at. Oh, so you're enraged. This is why I need to get agitated. It would let me know this. I don't really care for capturing Rathian, so I can do this. Tried it. I was eating that right away. I haven't played in a bit, so I'm probably rusty as hell. really sling a pod around here somewhere. Sharpen my weapon. Oh, that killed. Okay. I didn't expect that to kill. So even very sloppy still, I managed to do that in under 15 minutes. So not too horrible. Definitely could have been better because I was being pretty fucking sloppy there. But that is some hunting horn gameplay. You basically just play the monsters a song as you bash them in the face with your giant fucking bagpipe, honestly. And there goes my 8th Rathian mantle. Fuck off. But yeah, that's hunting horn gameplay, and next up I'll be moving on to hammer, then finally bow, because bow is like my best weapon in this entire game. So I want the bow to be last just because the bow will be the easiest for me to use. Plus there's a good bit of explaining with the bow. So yeah, that's it for this one, and I'll probably upload this first, honestly. Alright, so just finished the hunting horn portion along with the gameplay. Now we're going to move on to the hammer. The hammer is the most interesting out of these three, and by that I mean the most basic. Because really, your hammer doesn't have that much power, honestly. Or that many combos. So basically for hammer, you can do this. Triangle, 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 triangle. You could just do that and charge it into that, I know. It's like a really weird thing, I'm pretty sure. Hold on, wait. So you have your triangles, which is just like slam or swing, slam, upswing. Then you have this, which is what you want to do when the monster is knocked down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That overall does a good bit of damage. Now here's the thing about that. If you don't hit anything, you can't continue that. So if you do this, you can't continue it again. Not to mention you're stuck in that animation for a few seconds. So you really want to make sure that you time that properly. The hammer does, however, have a charge mode, which lets it do more damage and also gives it different attacks to use. So you hold down R2 to charge. You can press, I didn't mean to do power charge. You hold down R2 to charge, you can press triangle for a charge side blow. You hold it a little longer and then you wait for a charge brutal upswing. And if you hold it all the way until in the top right it says brutal big bang. Alright, until it says charge brutal big bang, which is when you're not moving, you just press triangle and it just does that, which is like the end of the combo, the end of the circle combo. That did 382. Now, when you're moving and you have a charge, you can do spinning bludgeon, which does this, a circle, or spinning circle, which has a good bit of damage. And as you're spinning, you'll see the option to, the triangle option in the top right will change. So if you just do it like that, you can do a side smash. Or if you just spam it after letting go for the spinning bludgeon, you do a side smash. If you wait a few seconds, you can do a spinning follow-up. And if you just wait all the way until the end, you do a spinning strong upswing, which has amazing knockback power and can do some really good damage. Now, I don't know how this one works, but with Iceborne you can do a slinger burst, which just lets you like burst out ammo, which I don't really know how useful that is, honestly. Here, let me test something actually, hold on. Oh, I see. So you can do a slinger burst and combo it into like charged upswing, which is pretty useful. I get it then. Okay. Well, that's basically all there is to the hammer, really. It's not much for this weapon. It's not really a complex weapon. You just swing at things. So yeah, now for some gameplay. I don't use hammer, so this is probably gonna go badly, or at least not as best as it could, but I will try and get like the best gameplay that I can either way. Alright, bow gameplay, not bow, hammer gameplay. Sorry about that. So we're gonna get into this. I'm gonna wait until he gets over under the rocks actually. That's gonna miss because I'm a dumbass. Thought so, okay. I can do this one. So I don't know how to effectively use hammer, so don't expect no like god tier gameplay here. Yeah, but as you can see, because of that knockdown, their hammer is very, very good at getting knockdowns. And an extent, or as an extent, breaking parts apparently. So let's try this. That faded mount that we look for so much. This third hunt is definitely my favorite and the easiest for me because the bow is just an amazing weapon, honestly. Like, I'm gonna save it mostly for when we get to the bow, when I get to the bow portion. However, I'm gonna just say this: bow is easily one of the best weapons in this game. Could you break off his scalp? I tried some fancy shit there. Let's try this. Oh, second mount. I definitely was not expecting that, but okay. I think I'm gonna weaken his face this time. I can use the dragon here, actually, can I? A little closer. Ah, that's too late. That's how you tried me, bitch. I thought I was gonna like get him from the fucking big swing, but I was totally wrong there. Thank you very much, Josh. Imagine if I get a third mount. Holy shit, okay. Is that a consistent flat line? No, definitely not. I have to be targeting his body? I don't think it matters. Okay, yeah, I have to be targeting his legs. Let's see. You know what? Here, let me walk out. Or not, he's fucking agitated. Oh my gosh, that was fucking brutal. Okay. Now that is a consistent line. Which means if he doesn't get captured here, then I'm just horrible at telling when monsters are capturable. There we go. And that was 11 minutes. I am genuinely surprised about that one. I am not the best with the hammer. So in 11-minute hunt, these are getting better and better actually now that I think about it. This is great. This is great. Well, that's your hammer hunt though. So yeah, oh, I desperately needed that fucking weight run gem. Alright, so that was hammer. Next up, we're gonna move on to the bow. The bow. My main weapon in this entire game. So the bow, at first glance, just seems like, you know, a bow. Nothing really special about it. However, the bow is actually a pretty complicated weapon when you get into the statistics of, well, not statistics, when you get into the whole stamina management. Because with the bow, your best ways of dealing damage requires you to be using the side step, which immediately charges your next shot, which drains stamina. But I'll explain that more in a second. First of all, let's start with the bow itself. The bow is a simple bow, just point and shoot. Not too difficult to understand from first. Now with the bow, you can hold down R2 and this will charge it up to 2 times. 3 if you have a certain thing that lets it go that high, but we're not going there just yet because I don't have it either. There are 3 different types of shots you can do. You can do a regular shot, you can do a spread shot, and then you can do an arc shot. So after any first shot, you can press circle, or after, so you can do it like circle, circle, circle for the arc shot. You can do it like R2, R2, circle, circle. I believe you can do art. Yeah, so the quickest way to get to the charge shot is just like, or the arc shot is just circle, circle, circle. Now what the arc shot does is it rains down little spike balls onto monsters. That does impact damage, meaning that you can get knockdowns with it in a pretty consistent fashion. Now the bow is a ranged weapon, so as tradition with all ranged weapons, it follows a guideline called critical range. Give me a second to drink some dash juice and I'll show you what I mean. If you look while I'm aiming down sights, you see that little circle, right? That's orange circle in the middle of my screen, my crosshairs. If I move farther back, it turns yellow, then I get out of range. You want your circle to look like this whenever you are about to shoot. If you can't get it like that, then it's fine sometimes, but for the most part, to be getting the most damage that you possibly can out of the bow and the other ranged weapons, you want to be within this super critical range, because this gives like a 10 to 15% damage increase, which is extremely useful. So you don't want to be up too close, you don't want to be up too far, you want to be at the perfect range to get the most damage that you can. And you also don't want to be me that misses shots every 10 fucking seconds. Now, moving on to coatings. If you look in the bottom right, you can see I have 3 different coatings. Coatings are just liquids, I guess, that you would coat an arrow in to affect the arrow in different ways. There are many different coatings. If you look on the right side of the screen, I've pulled up my status so I can show you the coatings. There's close range, which every single bow has. There's power coating, perilous coating, obviously paralyzes monsters, poison coating, sleep coating, and blast coating. Now for perilous, poison, and sleep coating, what you want to do is you want to fully charge it to level 3 before shooting. That way you get the most elemental effect out of it, because if you just do it like this, you're not really going to get that much use out of it, and you're honestly just going to be wasting coatings because it takes longer. So the quickest you would want to do this by is just charging up fully to level 3 for perilous, poison, and sleep. For blast, power, and close range coating, you can do this whatever you fucking want, and it deals amazing damage. Now, blast, close range, and power coating are your bow's 3 main damage dealing aspects. If a bow does not have power or blast coating, then you'll be mostly using close range coating if you want to deal a ton of damage, because power coating is kind of meta for bows. Now, Dragon Piercer. When you press triangle and circle at the same time, you take this stance and you do a Dragon Piercer. Now, your critical range relates to your coating. This takes up 1 coating, and it does a good bit of damage. Now, I can't show the exact full damage just because I'm like on the training dummy, so it's not going to pierce fully through it to show damage. But basically, you want to use this when the monster is down, and you want to target the longest line of sight. That way it can pierce through the monster fully for amazing damage. You can charge this up to level 3 for the best damage that you possibly can get. And the biggest downside to this, you can't move from this animation. You are very limited in how much you can aim. So I'm just going to show you real quick. See, you can't actually aim, you can't turn around. So if you do this in a bad spot, you're kind of fucked. You can tell when your arrows are charged because it gets like a little smoky aura around the arrow, as you can see. Now, new to Iceborne is the 1,000 Dragons. With 1,000 Dragons, if you have slinger ammo and you have the bow out, you want to be aiming, so hold L2. While you're still aiming, press R3, then do triangle and circle. This shoots the slinger ammo into a burst of 5 to 10 arrows, which does great damage. You cannot power it up with charge shots, and you want to be closer to a monster for this one, just so that all the pellets can hit. I don't know if coating actually affects this, so... But the bow is a great weapon in every aspect, but once you get into trying to be optimal with it, it can be somewhat tedious. I will give it that, because as a bow main, I find it very hard to keep my stamina up, which is why Dash Juice is one of the best items in the game for bow people. There's a lot of stuff that bow people have to use to really like get the best out of their power, but even without that stuff, you can still do extremely well with the bow. Not to mention, the bow in general does amazing damage. With the right setup, the bow can the bow can really be like one of the best burst damage weapons in the game. It has amazing knockdown potential on the spread power shots. The arc shots has amazing knockdown potential as well. Everything about the bow is just amazing, honestly. They did nerf it in Iceborne, but it's not really a significant enough nerf to really justify dropping it. At least not in my opinion. unless you just find something else you really like. So that's my bow explanation. The bow is the weapon I've been using since day 1 of Monster Hunter World, or like day 3 or 4 of me getting the game after realizing what I want to do. The bow is my favorite weapon in this game, and I'm going to enjoy this hunt because of the fact that the bow is my favorite weapon. So with that in mind, we're going to move on to go fight a monster. Alright, here's the bow hunt. My favorite hunt, in all honesty, because like I said, bow is my main weapon, so I very much enjoy using it. And this hunt will be fighting a monster that you most likely have heard of throughout some form of media, because it's one of the more known monsters of the game, MHW. Now, technically speaking, I am at a heavy disadvantage in the fact that MHW has like a 1-star at best weakness to my element, meaning I'm going to be doing less damage overall. However, I don't care. I think my skill with the bow, my setup, and just my overall knowledge of this monster and my overall knowledge of the bow will allow me to just get past that elemental disadvantage. So this hunt shouldn't take too long, honestly. It's still going to be a bit annoying because of the differences in elements. However, it shouldn't be too long. It might take a bit longer than the other hunts as well, which I wouldn't put it past it to do so, because the other two were actually like impressive hunts for me. 15 minutes on the hunting horn, fastest so far. 11 minutes with the hammer, fastest ever. So if this hunt goes better than either of those two, you can honestly color me surprised. I want to kind of let him get in there, because I don't want to end up fighting him in this hallway. There we go. Perfect. Put on close range coating. I'm using the impact method, which just gives me more impact damage. There's that guy. Let's do fire defense. Okay, I didn't think that would hit me. Now the arc shot isn't something you want to be using in multiplayer because it can actually stagger the teammates, which is a bit annoying from what I've experienced with Joey telling me about it. I forgot to mention that in the bows explanation portion, because I'm a bit of a slow. But I guess, oh well. So yeah, bow is an amazing weapon. It does it can also do sever damage on tails, which is actually really good for anybody trying to main the bow. Because severing tails is some of the best ways to get good parts in this game, honestly. Okay. Fuck, that was out of range. There should be some more red pit around here. Go. Now, when you run out of stamina, you're unable. I should have mentioned this as well. If you run out of stamina while using the bow, you are unable to do any type of power shot. You can't charge your attacks, nothing like that. Okay. So stamina. So the whole thing of the bow is watch your stamina, because when you run out of stamina, you run out of most of, if not a lot of your damage. They're turf warring. I should really just let them fight, but I don't care. Okay. It's actually kind of fair. Wind pressure. Jagras, my way. What with all these parts in the back? I'm getting fucked over by Great Jagger, so that's why this is taking longer. Not to mention I don't have an arena quest for this, so these monsters get to fucking go anywhere. Or Anjanath gets to go anywhere in this one. I need to capture him because I might get what I need from him, so. Time? 12? Almost 13 minutes. Not bad, not bad. So far this has taken, I think, the longest of the hunts, honestly, just because it's not an arena quest, so I couldn't just corner Anjanath like I would have preferred. I don't have an arena quest for him, sadly. But still pretty good overall. So as you can see, the bow is about evading and taking shots through your evades to kind of just quick power your arrow. Alright, so the bow is pretty good. Amazing, honestly. I recommend it, but it's up to you to choose what you want. So I am bow main BlazingHadou here, because I am a resident bow main, and you're watching Monster Hunter. Dooey Monster Hunter. I'm sorry. I don't want to talk about it. But either way, that was Anjanath done. So that was the last of these tutorials done. All in all, out of the 3 weapons that you picked, they're all pretty good in their own rights. Some are just more complex than others. The bow is definitely the most complicated out of the 3 in terms of getting the best that you can out of it. But either way, they're all pretty worth, and you can use them all without really having to get the best damage that you possibly can.
How you doing?
So that's this video. I'm gonna have to edit these and get these up today. If this would have showed the Anjanath mantle, I would have killed myself. So yeah, thank you for watching.